Hi everybody, it's Claire back with an art journal video where I'm sharing with you a page I've created using some of Leaca Young's new stencils. So these are the caffeinated botanical stencils and the funky botanical stencils. They're available on her website. They are so much fun, really cool to play with. They've got a really cool vibe. So I've started off on my page. It does have some clear gesso on, and I've added 3 colours. I've gone in with fir, I think it was evergreen, and lime. No, maybe not lime. I can't actually see. No, I lie. Fir, evergreen and sage. And then I've removed some of the paint through the stencil. So this is one that's like little coffee beans. It's really cool. And then I'm going in with evergreen and a blending tool. I've just positioned the stencil in a slightly different place. So I've got a bit of a layered look going on here. So then I've dried that, and then this is also from the caffeinated botanical stencil set, and I'm just using some fir, and I've also mixed in a little bit of night as well, just to make a bit of a darker shade. And I'm just using this botanical leaf here on the bottom of my page. I do actually go back in again, and having made this dark green even darker, so I just add a little bit more fir to it just to make it even darker. Okay, so then once that's dry, there you go, you can see I'm just darkening it up a little bit because it kind of disappeared off the background, disappeared into the background even. Okay, so then I went in with my watercolour paints, and using these lovely flowers, I'm just painting some different colours through these flowers. I wasn't too worried about the colours bleeding underneath the stencil, which it can do a little bit, but you know, it doesn't really matter. I'm using pinks and purples really for this, and I'm going to be cutting these out, and they are going to be then added onto my page. So I guess the thing with this is when you're using watercolours through a stencil, you don't want your brush to be too wet, unless you do kind of want that seepage, which also creates a really cool look. Yeah, obviously if your brush has got a lot of water on it, then it will bleed underneath the stencil quite a lot. If you want to kind of maintain the actual shape of the thing that you're painting through, then don't have your brush too wet. Okay, so once I was happy with the colours that I'd added, I did go in and dry them with a heat tool, and then I also cut them out. And once I had cut them out, I also then decided where I was going to stick them. So one of them I decided to cut in half, and I was going to stick it at the side of the page. I'm just using my little fine applicator tip bottle here and a bit of clear glue just to get some glue onto that and stick it in place where I want it to be. The same on this one. I think this is one of my new favourite ways of gluing things into my journals. And then giving it a good press down as well. And then this one, just cutting a piece off this too. So this one is sort of slightly off the edge of the page. I think the reason I was doing that was because I didn't want the page to be overwhelmed with the little flowers. And just like a little sneak peek of the flower there was enough, really. Okay, so once they were dry, I then started to add some more details onto my page. So I gave the flowers a stalk so that they were anchored on the page, because at the minute they're just kind of floating around, just using a black Posca pen to do that. And then I just start in a sketchy way, just kind of outlining various parts on the flowers. So starting with the centre and then working onto the petals. I'm not worrying really about keeping it particularly neat. And in some places my pen did kind of fall off the edge of the flower, because obviously I've cut it out and stuck it on, so it's not the same height as the rest of the page, but it really doesn't matter. It wasn't problem at all. And then I decided I would go in and add some of my signature dots in the centre of the flowers, just to add a little bit more interest in those too. So I'm just using a coloured Posca pen for this. And then again going in with another one. I think this is a turquoise blue colour. And then I decided, like, more is better. Let's go in with the Signo Uniball and do a bit of outlining and add some more tiny white dots there too in the centre of the flowers. So I'm just starting to build up the layers of colour and interest on those elements that I've stuck on onto my page. Okay, so then I wanted to just start to layer up the botanical elements on the page. So this is I think this is from the Funky Botanicals set. So I went in with my black Posca pen here and just actually coloured through the stencil on these leaf shapes, just to add another dimension to the bottom of the page. And then, of course, got to add some dots at the bottom. It wouldn't be my page without them. So just sort of helping those, just where those, almost where those things are growing out the bottom of the page, it kind of anchors them really for me. It helps them feel like they belong, and it means it's kind of, it softens that edge, I guess, too. I like to go in with different sizes of dots, so I do some big ones and some smaller ones. I think it helps them kind of flow into each other a bit more too. And then I'm also going back in with my Signo Uniball in white and just highlighting some parts of it. So I'm going over the black that I've done, and that just pulls those elements forward a little bit, makes them a bit more of a focal point. And of course more dots, because more is better, apparently. I do like my dots, don't I? I never quite realised how much I use dots until I started editing my videos. It's I don't know, it's just something that happens really. It's not a conscious decision. And of course, if you've got your hands on my new stamp set, yeah, you'll see there is a stamp in there with the custom dots on too. So once that was done, I'm then using this stencil, which is from the Falling Abundance set 3 from Leaca Young stencils. And I'm just adding some words onto my background, and I am doing this with black. The reason for that is that I kind of wanted the words to show up a little bit, and any other colour would be a bit lost, and a contrast colour would be too much in your face. But the black just worked kind of perfectly, because the top of my background is quite dark and there's already quite a lot going on. And I just kind of wanted those words to be there, but not be too obvious. So this was a great way to do it. Leaca has got some fabulous stencils in her shop, and you must go and have a look if you haven't already. Yeah, really versatile. There's so many things you can do with them. And then to finish off, I am using a quote from Dina Wakley's Ledger Papers. It just kind of finished off the page perfectly. And then just to finish off, I'm just adding a few splatters as well onto the bottom of my page. And really, that was about it. So lots and lots of fun playing with Lisa's new stencils. I really enjoyed creating this page. I've got so many more ideas of things to do with them too, so keep watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.